Hey there, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I channeled messages for you. We are going to cover May 25th through May 30th for 1 week of the Moon Astrology, and then we'll do a second week of June 1st through the 7th. I will timestamp them, but first we'll start with the channeled message. I actually have two for you because the first channel message I got felt inadequate, and it's been bothering me for a couple days because I have to channel on a different day than from when I deliver them. So the first message that I got for you was there was a field of sunflowers, and there was a sun shower going on, and it felt like you can create your own happiness. You can grow your own happiness and to follow what makes you happy, because the sunflowers will follow the sun throughout the day. That's a lot of sun, which is good, right? And also to pay attention to your intuition, because the sun was shining and it was still raining, so it felt like it's good inspiration, it's interesting, and it's valuable. I did feel some pressure in the third eye chakra, and so there's a clarity and a truth, and there's a need for a new perspective. But I had to look it up, what sunflowers meant, and it says it represents abundance, financial, also new ideas, and that makes sense, right? Because there's so many seeds, right? And it's not only that, it's like when sunflowers are growing in the field, it feeds the birds, it feeds many. It's prosperity, not just for yourself, but for others. And all those seeds feel like a lot of new ideas, and so that was one thing, but it's kind of been bothering me. I felt like there was more information. And so this morning when I woke up, I kind of meditated on your energy a little bit more. And I got a picture of a wheelbarrow. You were pushing along wheelbarrow. So we're still in this garden. So it is definitely about planting seeds of intention, about trying to figure out where things are for you. And but you had this wheelbarrow was full of weeds. And so it was like you were going up and down the rows of the plants, and you're pulling out the things that didn't work. Like what it's weeding through. So sunflowers are very prolific. If you've ever had a bird feeder, you'll notice that underneath that there will be a lot of sunflowers that spring up, and you're constantly mowing them down, right? And so it's going through and figuring out which of these many great ideas that you're getting that are really valuable for you. You cannot, in my opinion, spread yourself so thin that you can't get any. It's like the jack of all trades and the master of none kind of feeling to it. So selecting the things that really matter to you, that are really important to you, that are really going to help you, and to prosperity, to abundance. And so you might have a lot of ideas and a lot of things, and so sorting through and deciding which ones are really important feels like a real big key to this time frame. And we just came off of that new moon. In fact, as I'm recording this, the moon just went new yesterday in Gemini, and so by Monday it will have moved into Cancer, but that energy is still there, and because we have the North Node, which the nodes are about where the moon is placed, and so the energy, it's kind of complicated. But anyway, so they're related to the moon. And so there's this energy over the next 18 months from this new moon of Gemini. And so your option and your opportunity to create something, third house, Gemini would be your third house. And so that would be communication, day-to-day activities, relationship with your siblings, communication. And so with the whole world starting to become more internet oriented, you might have a lot of ideas about how you can get your business out there, or you could start this new idea, or you could do something with it, but weeding through what really will work for you or not seems like it's going to be an ongoing process, I would say, for the next 18 months. So which seeds are you planting? Which ones are doing well? It's kind of like going in and saying, okay, well, this one's really becoming strong, so I'm going to pull out the little ones around them that are not doing so well. And so I feel like it's going to be a process. And I think part of why I couldn't get like a really clear vision for you is because you might not have a really clear vision of exactly what it is you're doing yet. And so it's kind of like throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks kind of energy. And so pay attention and feed and support the ones that, are really growing observe, what you can get rid of. And so it's kind of that process. So I know that was really long, and if that doesn't seem like it resonates, be sure to check out your sun, your moon, your rising. You get different messages, and the way you do more likely to find channeled messages that really resonate for you would be to leave me a comment, because I write your name down. I have a book. I literally have a book. I write everybody's name in it, so that when I'm meditating, I'm kind of meditating on your energy. And so I want a timestamp when I'm getting to the week. Okay, so this is the first week. This is May 25th through the 31st. So we're finishing up the month here in this week, and this is we came off of that new moon, and now the moon has moved into Cancer. Okay, and so this is where all this energy of outgoing energy that we had during Taurus season, right? Now we're in Gemini, and so Gemini is about the communication, and the sun is, right? And it's about the communication and all these close things that we just talked about in your channeled message. But when the moon moves into Cancer, it kind of makes you want to internalize it. Kind of makes you want to pull that stuff in and kind of look at it a little different. It's more about how it is around the home. And so I feel like the answers that you are looking for, they're within you. And this is a week where if you really tap into your intuition, that you might really be able to sort out what they are. And with so many planets retrograde, there is this feeling of I got to be moving, and yet it's like you're pushing up against all these walls because all these planets are moving backwards. And so I would really like to encourage you to make friends with this energy. It's around for the next few months, and do a slow and steady. Anything is progress. As long as you're moving forward, it's progress. And so maybe it's not as fast as you would like it to go. Maybe it's not as fast as you would really wish it were right now, but start measuring progress for progress. It kind of reminds me of when my kids were in swimming, and they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't win the race." Yeah, but you swam faster this time than last time. So kind of measure yourself that way. So the ideas that you planted, the seeds that you planted, those sunflower seeds, the process that you started, it is about this process of growth, and it is about making choices, right? It's about choosing what makes you feel nourished, what makes you feel loved, where's the growth, what is important to you. So Monday and Tuesday kind of has this energy. Now Tuesday has kind of like a lot of emotional things going on. So I want to encourage you. And honestly, Aries, you're so good at this, at being optimistic. You might have to really kind of tap into your optimism that day, so that you can push to the surface. It says, you may have become complacent. You might be stalling out or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. And so I do feel like it is a push right now. It is this energy of, I want to go forward, and things have been so slow, and we've been having to be slow. And now I want to get things moving, but you can't slam it into fifth gear. You're going to have to work your way up through the gears, first, second, third. So slow and steady wins the race, but it is a push. And those low gears, they don't move very fast, and they're like kind of grinding it out. And so I feel like you're not a race car today. Oh, this is so great. All right, so on Wednesday, the moon is going to move into Leo at 2:33 in the morning. So it is there when you wake up from, here in the United States anyways. And now the moon is going to come into opposition with Saturn over there in Aquarius. And so there might be some grumpy people in your life. So just heads up on that. There's going to kind of be this, where are the boundaries? And I don't like having boundaries. And I want to do things the way I want to do things. But this is a highly creative energy. This is like pushing through the boundaries of what people have been doing and creating new ideas and being able to really push things forward. So what do you want to nourish? What part of this plan of operation that you are going through? This is part of the weeding process, I almost feel like, to help you figure out what is the best path forward. There's like a lot of things that you could be looking at. And the really cool thing is you got the card of inspiration, which would be that rain on the sun shower, right? I am receiving divine inspiration right now. So pay attention to your dreams, your daydreams, and your nighttime dreams. That the random thoughts that you get, that I really wish I was doing this kind of energy, because I really think it's going to pay off for you in the long term. everything, I know, it feels like it's 18 months out. Okay, so when we're planting our seeds of intention, it's generally 18 months anyways, but because they're happening in Gemini, and it's where the North Node has just gotten into Gemini, this is about looking down the road. And honestly, if you look at the world right now, realistically speaking, any big things you're trying to do right now, you definitely need to take the long range perspective. You have to operate in the day-to-day, what's happening here right now, but you kind of need to be planning and being willing to navigate. And since you're an initiating sign, I think you will not have as much struggle with this as some signs. Being willing to navigate the changes and to do things. Oh, you have such great energy this week. I'm really excited for you. Okay, so on Friday, the moon is going to move into Virgo, which is all about liking to analyze and really wants to get down into the nitty-gritty of things to create your plan. It is about, assessing where things are now and where you're going and really using your discernment. So this is a week where you can really, this nice slow pace that we have coming in the United States. We have a holiday weekend and then a short work week for those that are working. And so you should hopefully be a little more rested and really have some time to be able to burn the midnight oil if you need to. I just saw pour it over. I saw oh gosh, what is his name in Scrooge? Bob there, going through the books late at night. I just saw an image of that. So I think there's going to be a lot of detail and analyzing and trying to figure out what it is. But you have become the true you. Show the world who you really are and what you were born to do. This is an opportunity to reassess where your life is. All these planets in retrograde are about realignment, reassessing, reorganizing. And so it's a real great opportunity to do this when you have all this energy of Gemini, of forward thinking, where are you going next, being curious, being creative, being willing to try new things. It's a really great energy to work with. So then we get into, so we can have some tough energy and for everybody. There's a lot of energy to get things done. That's there. In Libra's, the moon is going to move into Libra, and Libra's trying to create balance, but there's the fears are going to start to kick up. And so being aware that that's coming and understanding that fears are not reality. Fears are what your imagination running wild. And your imagination running wild to be creative of positive things and where you want to go is excellent. Your imagination running wild looking for obstacles and things that the don't go down the what if bad things, go down the what if good things. Like it's kind of like you're at the crossroads and you can pick whichever path you want. Go for the good stuff. So what you focus on is what you're going to create. So when you have all these fears here, protect yourself. Just put yourself in this little bubble of sunshine there and say, okay, I know this is just the moon passing through and this is just a moon cycle. And you actually have the moon coming up for that one. It says take note of intuitive messages. And so the sun showers, and now we have the inspiration, and pay attention to what you're thinking and protect yourself in the sunshine and just, let all the fears go. They're not going to benefit you in the long run. And so, yes, you're going to want to have healthy boundaries. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next week because we actually start out with that moon in Libra. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this. I want to write it here. I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay, so as I'm picking this up. So, there is more stuff happening here, and it is an opportunity to find that good partnership, right? Libra is about, welcome to the second week, by the way. This is June 1st through the 7th, and we're talking about the moon being in Libra and how it's a really good opportunity for partnerships that can really, really work for you. There's a need though for healthy boundaries. There's a need to figure out what you really need and what you really want. I feel like this is like an opportunity to really pick out what it is that you want to create for yourself and be willing to go for it. So kind of, where's the balance in that? And so Monday starts out with this really nice energy of, I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, this really nice energy of being able to set those healthy boundaries, to see where it is that works for you, and through communication. I feel like communicating is going to be the key to that. It's going to be speaking from the heart. It's going to be what's important to you and communicating to the people in your life that are important to you what it is that you're trying to create here. So then we have, by the time we get through this week, though, we have this really powerful full moon eclipse. And so it's going to take a lot of cards here. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put all of them, because there's a lot of energy in this. Okay. All right. Whew. Lots of cards. Not really, not the neat job I prefer. Okay, so on Tuesday, the moon is going to move into Scorpio. And that happens at 12:06 p.m., so right around lunchtime, right? Eastern Daylight Time here. And when the moon, excuse me, is in Scorpio this time, there is this opportunity through this communication, this balanced communication that you've been having over the prior weekend when that moon was in Libra, and then again through Monday, right? This opportunity through communication to have this sudden insight that comes to you. This, like, what was your emotional reaction to something someone said? How did you feel about things? But also, like, what was said. Allow it to help you to narrow down where you're going, to focus in. And so there's this need for this willpower and this focus on what it is that you are passionate about and that you want to create. So again, with the wheelbarrow, pulling out the weeds, the seeds, they're growing, they're opportunities, but they're not as strong, they're not as healthy, or you're not as invested in them, or you're not as interested in them. This is the time to remove those things. It's a good day to really clear away emotional baggage, to clear away the weeds in your life so that you can focus in on what's important to you, what brings in the joy, what brings in the happiness. When the moon moves into Sagittarius on Thursday, that's at 1:17 p.m., that day has a really great energy about it. It is a chance for you to take a deep breath and celebrate the successes there where you are right now. Because with that moon comes this energy of releasing, because that lunar eclipse happens at, oh gosh, did I write it down? At 3:12 p.m. on Friday. So about 24 hours from the time the moon moves into Sagittarius, because it happens at 15 degrees, that lunar eclipse does. And the lunar 15 degrees, there's a couple of key points in the degrees, and 15 is one of them. This is really being willing to unburden and let go of the past and have a sneak preview of what is coming in the future. And so being willing to weed out your garden, being willing to let things go will make a huge difference here. So on Friday, when that sun is conjunct with Venus and it opposes Saturn at about the same time that you're having this lunar eclipse, it is about what feels really good to you. That's what you focus on, and being willing to cut out, to weed out, to let go of the crap that does not serve you, that does not serve where you are going. It is about blossoming. It is about you blossoming, you stepping into your own personal power. There is a real energy here, because it's a fire sign thing, of this masculine action oriented energy of actually moving on something. So while you've been feeling kind of like things are not going very fast, in action, again, I want to encourage you, this action isn't going to be progression forward. Okay, that's going to be slow and steady, y'all. The planets are in retrograde. The place to take the action right now is pulling up the weeds and saying, okay, but that doesn't work. Not wasting any more time on that. I'm done with that, whatever that is. It could be in business. It could be in a relationship. It could be in emotional baggage that you've been toting around your entire life that just makes you feel miserable. And you're like, why do I even worry about that? I need to let that stuff go. It does not serve me moving forward. So really big, impressive energy to work with. This is what you're doing this week sets you up for like the next 18 months. We've got some more eclipses happening. We actually have eclipses happening, one more cycle in the Cancer Capricorn within the next 30 days. And then after that, for the next year and a half, they will all be in the Sagittarius and Gemini axis of being willing to let go of limiting beliefs, long-held beliefs, things that you have always thought, felt, whatever, and being willing to move forward into the areas that you're curious about. What are you interested in? What do you want to explore? So this isn't about action forward on what you're exploring. This is action forward on making space to explore with, if that makes any sense. I really hope it does. So, so let me know in the comments, because I really hope that makes sense. All right, so then we get to Saturday, and the moon moves into Capricorn late in the day. Well, 3:44 p.m. And so end of Saturday and into Sunday, now all of a sudden we want to organize again. Now we're going to be responsible. Now we're going to, do a little self-analysis about, with our head above the emotional waters, about, okay, what's next? Okay, so I did this really hard work. How do I feel about that? Okay, but now how is this going to help me? It becomes about making the plans, about how to bring the pleasure and the joy into your life, because you were willing to let go of the things that don't. It is a great time for it's this motivating energy to make your plan. It's about making the plan now. Now is the time to really, if you haven't already started putting things in details. Oh my gosh, I didn't pull any cards. Let's go back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like getting ready to do the final card. This has been such a crazy, there's so much power. So don't forget, for this week right here, on Monday, that energy is about listening to your intuition. And then when you are doing your insights that you're getting from your communication, let's see what we get for that. Okay, yeah, so it's about, what are you going to do? See, spirit is represented by the barn swallows. Barn swallows brings messages of love and support from from loved ones who have passed over. And so you are being guided, and see how there's this light shining the way into the dark, in the murky, and you may not actually know where you're going, but you're being guided toward this creative project that you are supposed to be focusing on, right? So your ancestors, your guides, they're there. They've got your back. They've got your back. They're leading the way. They're behind you. They're in front of you. They're downloading information and guidance. So listening to your intuition, paying attention to what is going on. And yes, this moon is about releasing. It says a time for healing. It is about releasing, letting go of what slows you down, traveling lightly, being willing to move forward on this new creative idea that is so divinely guided and inspired. And you have observe in silence, embrace the feminine, and have courage. Okay, so observe in silence. This is you taking a step back, pulling into yourself, and noticing what is going on around you. What are the messages that you're receiving? When I see observe in silence in the context of this particular reading, it feels like spend some time in meditation, out in nature. If you have a garden and you can actually get out there and work on it during the week, getting your hands in the dirt is so therapeutic. It's a great way to move through things. And we have embraced the feminine. This is growth. This is that growth, that idea, being receptive to receiving the healing energies, being receptive to receiving the inspiration and the guidance, and being open to planting these seeds and allowing them to grow. And you also have this very masculine energy of the lion, which says have courage. And so you have a very balanced opportunity with this moon to really figure out what works for you, what really matters. So, what a great reading. Aries, sometimes your readings, I think, get shorted because you're the first one I do every time, and I'm like getting into stride, but not this time. Not this time. Okay, here we go. So, Capricorn energy of planning. It says, overcome obstacles. So you're planning how to overcome the obstacles. Dream the world into being. What do you want to do? You get to pick. The option and the opportunities for choice. And then the butterfly. Transformation is beautiful. What do you want to transform your life into? What are you dreaming of? Overcoming the obstacles requires the planning. It's going to require the action. Apparently, it's going to require a little courage. Identifying what they are and being willing to release will get you there. This is really... all right. So now we're going to get to the color card for the week. Such nice energy. I hope all the readings today go like this. Be sure to check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. I can't imagine that you didn't find something of value here, but checking out the sun, the moon, and the rising gives you a really well-rounded idea of what is going on. Oh, look at this. You have Rose. Attract a relationship. Now, this could be... Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, so... This is the receptive side of me that when my nose starts itching when Spirit's like, yeah, pay attention to this message. And my hand started itching. That's the receptive hand, the left hand. And so this is about being willing to receive. This attracting a relationship doesn't mean going out and chasing one down. It's about receiving and allowing one to come be brought to you. But also it's relationship doesn't necessarily mean love, although it's kind of hard not to think that when you see this red rose. But if you have a business idea, a business plan, and that's a relationship too, when you attract the right partner in to help you to manifest your dreams. So defining what your dreams are, defining what's holding you back and being willing to let it go, and start planning how to overcome obstacles. It's going to be slow and steady wins the race. So pack your patience. But look at this is great. All right. I will see you back here next week, and we will go over the mid-Gemini season with the card reading, and I hope to see you back then. But in the meantime, wow, it looks like you're going to be busy. So get out your wheelbarrow, and I will talk to you soon. You take care.